Well, good day to you all. This is Doug Bell and my Mavic here too, and I wanted to get out of the house with COVID going on and do a little flying. So I went to Lake Arrowhead for another beautiful day on the lake. Uh, Clear skies. Wish some clouds were around actually to add a little something in the sky for the photographic part of the video. But at any rate, just a beautiful day up here, like low 80s. Water was probably pretty cool for the skiers that I attempted to track here. And I've got to figure out what that structure is. Got to look it up, find out what it's called and what it does. At any rate, it's a nice day for the skiers, and here's one here having a nice little go around the lake. I wish, got to get my exposures correct a little bit. A little bluer than that, not so green, a little overexposure, but I'm still learning, so I'm going to work on some of those things. This is called ActiveTrack. Is actually, you can put a square around the boat on my screen, my phone, and track the boat and follow it along as it goes, and it'll keep it in the center, and worked pretty well in this case. It's hard not to do a nice panorama of the lake here, and a lot of docks along this lake. It's all private property in the entire lake, and so there's docks just every inch. Very very nice place to own a home if you can afford it, but what are you gonna do? Skier finally got back up on their skis and took off and continued on their way. Again, I hope the water's not too cold, but I'm sure they'll survive. I saw some boat in the distance and decided to go track it, and I put it in sport mode, which is to get the drone to move very fast, and the drone lost control, and now I'm just certain from what I can see on my phone that I'm going to go into the lake here and lose control. So at this point it looks like I'm recovering, which is good, but all of a sudden it just started to spin and spin and spin, and all I see on my phone is the green abyss below, knowing that my drone is dropping down into the water. I try to up stick and try to keep it from doing that, but all I can see on my phone is this green blob. I can't tell if I'm 2 feet off the surface of the water, or 20 feet, or 200 feet. So eventually I let go of the sticks entirely just to let it settle, see what was going on. I didn't think it was in the water, so I at least thought I was stable. So I tried to raise it up at this point and gain some altitude, and I finally saw a boat come into the view, which will happen in a second here, and I breathed a huge sigh of relief, realizing that I didn't put it in the drink. Now I've got to get control of the camera. It turns out that it wasn't the drone that was spinning. I overloaded the camera and the gimbal that the camera resides on, which is a very small device on the drone, and the gimbal allows you to have level motion with your videos, but the gimbal got out of control and zipped around. So the camera, or the drone, was fine. It was the gimbal was out of shape. So I got it under control, got the gimbal back in action, and decided instead of following a speeding boat, I'd find a little slow little barge here and do an active track around this one. Now this active track is called orbit. So once you center the object in your frame, highlight it and select it, and then select the orbit option, and you can just move around it in either direction, left or right. Actually, I think it's a point of interest option at this point, not an orbit, although the effect is the same. And just circled this guy safely and not going into the drink, which was my whole object here. And here, I'd already scouted this out. There are no people down below, nobody in these houses, but I thought I'd just take a little flyby some of these very nice and very expensive homes on the lakeside with their docks and things. Wouldn't want to fly directly over any people that are residing here, but figured it was safe enough to just zip by and take a look. Must be nice. And here we're back to skiers, and I've got a after track working on the boat here, and tried to do a POI and a rotation around to the right side, and the drone can only go so fast. It cannot keep up with the boat. Can't keep circling around it like it did with the little barge earlier. So it got a nice effect getting to the side, but at one point it just sort of stopped. So I decided I'll flip around to the other direction and see what would happen on the left-hand side. And the effect was pretty much the same. Kept it in the center, tracked it nicely, not a problem, but just couldn't get the speed up to get around to the front of the boat. Again, I gotta find out what this sucker is. Under the eaves, there's a bunch of swallows, swallowtails that have their nests under there. And when I was going down closer to inspect it to line up for the shot, I could see the birds flying in and out and going to their mud nest there and maybe feeding chicks. Who knows? I don't know. But didn't want to get too close because I didn't want to hit any of the birds. So I backed up a little bit and rotated it from this side. And here's our last skier of the day, just going back and forth and obviously having a wonderful time on the lake. And swooping in and out. Pretty good job. Well, thank you very much for watching. Again, I was bored out on my gourd, so I want to do a little filming and set something up for YouTube and share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe, stay well, and wherever you're at, and just have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching.